Hey everybody, welcome to day 24 of Get Out of the Rat Race RUT. I'm Beth Campbell, career mindset coach and mentor, former corporate captive, now helping you find fulfillment. If you need some guidance in finding your career or life happy place, please send me a message or go to bethannecampbell.com/coachme. Thank you so much for being here. If you're watching live, please let me know you're here in the comments. And if you're watching the replay, give me a hashtag replay. And of course, let me know if you have any questions or feedback so I can make sure I address it. Wanted to wish my baby sister Allison a happy birthday today. I remember the day you came home from the hospital. Little carrot top. I'm almost 10 years older than my sister, so I was remember that day with her coming home. And happy birthday, Allie. Okay, today we are talking about what happens if you don't make a change in your life or your career. What happens if you continue with the status quo? If you have a great career, a great life, things are wonderful, this probably isn't the session for you. I mean, you can certainly continue to listen. I enjoy having y'all here, but keep doing what you're doing. Carry on and rock it every day. Most of us aren't that person. In fact, a lot of us are or have been downright miserable in some area of our life, but that's just how it goes. We're kind of miserable sometimes, maybe all the time, and we're doing nothing to really change it, right? That's the problem. Believe me, I understand. I was that person. I did a whole episode. What was that, day 11? I was the bitter, complaining, constantly ranting employee at work, and I knew it. I craved the misery. I did get addicted to it, and all the while, I didn't like who I was becoming. I didn't like what my life was becoming. And it took me years to move past that and finally make a change. In fact, I didn't even make the change myself. The change was made for me when my position was eliminated last year. I mean, I kind of made the change because I had been visualizing and journaling the job I wanted. So indirectly, I guess I did make the change. But I've been doing that for years. And as much as I wanted something different to get out of that, I didn't have the courage to do it myself. So thank you, universe. I thank the universe every day for that great decision. I don't want you to take years to get out of your rat race rut like I did, or whatever the rut is. Whatever you believe about how we got here, why we're here on this earth, purpose, religion, soul, whatever, the bottom line is we are given a great gift of life. We truly are. And the saddest thing is that most of us don't realize what this gift is until we get older. I mean, what is that they say? Youth is wasted on the young, something like that. We go through all the trials and the tribulations of life. We succeed, we fail, we're up, we're down. And then one day we find the wisdom to realize that we just don't want to be unhappy anymore, right? How many of that's happening to you as you get into your middle years? Yet, so many of us just keep living in mediocrity or even despair. And don't tell me I'm wrong, most of you. As somebody, I've lived the career chaos for decades. I've ranted for years about career misery. I wrote 2 books so far about calling out corporate hypocrisy and bad leadership. I started a podcast, the sole purpose of which was to rail against the machine. So I've heard from many of you. I've heard it for years, the venting, the ranting, the challenges, trying to make sense of it, trying to figure out why is it so bad, wanting to be in a better place. And I've given out a lot of advice on how to do that and how to make it better. And still, a lot of people, some of you, sit there and you're thinking all day long about your shitty job, your shitty work, the boredom, the chaos. You might be mistreated or berated. You're pushed out because you're getting older. You're being forced back to the office when you don't want to. You have authoritarian bosses. You maybe don't have any purpose in life. The list goes on and on, right? But you never do anything to change it, really, do you? Right? I mean, are you really, really trying to change that? As I said earlier, I feel you. I was you. And some great force of energy out there took it upon itself to make the decision for me to change. Now, I still had to confirm that, right? After I got laid off, I spent over a month desperately trying to look for my next shitty corporate job, which was, why? Why was I so forcefully trying to get back? I don't know. Fear, worry, change. Change is hard. Money, right? Whatever it was, I was being pulled back. I was being pulled back into that hell. And it's hard to even imagine that right now. Like I was actually trying to, it's like imagine yourself, you're in a tornado and and it's horrible, right? And you get spit out, but then now you're just trying to get back into the tornado. You're trying to get back into this horrible storm. And then one day I got the courage to decide just like that. I wasn't going back. I wasn't going to go back to a traditional corporate professional job. I was just done. And I remember the exact moment. Like I don't remember what precipitated it. I think that I was just feeling happy for the first time in a long time. And I had been for a bit. And it was at that moment, it was like the universe whispered in my ear and just said, okay, now you understand. You are the storm. You are the storm. So why are you still stuck in the storm? Be the storm. Be the fucking storm. Find your freedom. You don't have to necessarily leave your job like I did to make a change. Like you don't have to quit your job or your role. You don't even have to have a shitty boss or a shitty culture to be driven to make a change. You just have to want it. I talk to career challenge people all the time. And sometimes I'm shocked at how many people who don't seem to be able to do something different, even though their present situation is, by their own words, horrible. But I couldn't either. That was just like me. Now, I know there are a lot of reasons for that, for sure. Fear and discomfort. That was a huge one for me. Did we just talk about discomfort yesterday? I mean, that was huge for me. I wanted to leave corporate totally. I was working on side gigs, but I feared the loss of income. Jack Canfield, the author of Chicken Soup for the Soul, says everything you want is on the other side of fear, and he is right. Discomfort is the gateway to growth. That's what Beth Campbell says, and she is right? The other thing is complacency. Like you're sort of comfortable. It takes energy to change. It's risky. Why not stay right where you are? And if right where you are is a good, fulfilling place, then hey, I agree. But if you're still miserable, then maybe it's time to think outside the box. Some people don't know what change they want. And yeah, I get it. I wasn't sure I wanted to be a career coach and mentor. I still don't. So, but maybe you should give it some thought. Like maybe you should think about it and kind of define what it is that you do want. Like go back to day 2 of this series, goals. Like what do you want? If you can't define what the end state is, if you don't know what you want, how do you get there, right? But so do that. Define what you want. Write it down or put it in your head. No limits. What do you really want? And then some people know what they want or what they want to do, but they don't know how to make that change. Now, for me, this is the easiest obstacle to overcome because if you're not a mindset person, you can just have a plan. But if you are a mindset person, then you just need to believe it. You need to visualize what you want. Again, back to that goal. And then you need to put your energy and your inspired action into being the person who has what they want, and the way will be shown. So live as if you have already received it, and the way will be shown. And that's just how it happened for me. So again, I'm going to ask the question, what happens if you do nothing? What if 5 years from now, things are exactly the same? You're still in chaos or not being heard, or you have too much work, trying to keep your head above water, no priorities, you're bored, you have a shitty boss or a shitty company or culture, you're unfulfilled, you're still sitting around complaining about how bad it is. What if you're doing that? What if you decided to make a big change today? Do you think in 5 years that you would regret it? Or do you think that you would say, like I did, that was the best decision that I ever made, or in my case, that was made for me? It's a serious consideration. Like, what if you're still in the same situation 5 years from now? Were you in the same situation 5 years ago? Or what if it's, 1 year from now? Is that okay? Are you going to be kicking yourself because you didn't make a change? What is that? There's something on my refrigerator. What are you going to regret not doing today, a year from now, right? You're going to regret you didn't take a chance or a risk, or you didn't prioritize yourself. What about the people around you? Are they going to be okay if you keep the status quo? When you're on your deathbed, what is it that you're going to regret not doing? And why not do it now? Why not make the change, work through that fear, bust through that discomfort, and come out the other side and be the storm? Think about it. Seriously, think about it. I see way too many people that just accept their lot in life, and I did too for many years. And I can tell you with absolute conviction that what is on the other side of fear is fucking glorious. That's okay. That's all I can say. I've said my piece. So, all right. I am going. Oh, hello, Stephanie. Stephanie wishes my sister a happy birthday. Thank you, Stephanie. I have two sisters and they're both awesome. And then I have bonus sisters. I have a very big family and I just love them. They're just awesome. The familiar hell versus the unknown heaven. Yes, exactly. It reminds me of your session on stress. It becomes our default setting. Yes, thank you. Yeah, I love this point, Stephanie. The familiar hell is versus the unknown heaven. And you know what's so funny is I know so many people that's where they're stuck. They're stuck in, but what if it's worse? But what if it's better? What if it's better? And so what if it's worse? Then you just move on, right? What are you missing while you're suffering through your current situation? Yes, thank you. And by the way, it's never too late. So I suffered and didn't make that decision for many, many years, but all roads lead to here, and this is my path, and I'm very excited about it. So thank you once again, Stephanie, for those awesome points. I appreciate it. All right, tomorrow I'm going to ask the question, aren't you too old for that? Of course not. Of course you're not too old for that, but we're going to dive into why your age should not hold you back. And I say this because this is an important topic for me because I just know so many people, myself included, who felt different as they got older and how they were treated at work. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But also because I know a lot of you, I've heard you say it, like I'm too old for that. But you're not, and your age shouldn't hold you back. So I'm excited about that. All right, don't forget to connect with me on Facebook or LinkedIn if you're not already. And thank you so much for joining Get Out of the Rat Race Rut. We're on the home stretch, folks. I think we got, 5 more episodes to go? 6. Yeah, I need my fingers to count. All right, you're here because you're a badass. Please don't let anybody tell you otherwise, and I shall see you tomorrow. Bye.